Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Farm, thinking right out here in my lab. I do what I do for you. Oh, I'm in the book. I got a few lessons out here. Like I said, I'm cherry picking. We on lesson number 4, so let's get ready. All right, let's rock. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's a message in my story for life. I give you life lessons. You tune in and receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinking way of life through mental and spiritual discipline. Practice daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. You see where we're going with this? All right, so let's get there together. And I ask the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through? Yeah, because that's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you know how to answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not that they know not, is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believe and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And to my be true. We in lesson number 4. We just got finished answering the questions. Now we into the psycho-spiritual journey through the principles of creation. We always start with the creation and walk you through. That's how it's done, and that's what it should be done. Before you can learn anything, you gotta learn the beginning, not in the middle. It's like going to a movie. In the middle of the movie, you don't know what happened. And then at the end, so don't be confused. Start from the beginning. That's my concept. So let's go. Nice little lesson for today. Right thinkers, let's talk about the psycho-spiritual journey. And then I'm going to break down the generations of gods, okay? The family of gods, okay? But let's start with this one, the psycho-spiritual journey. And when you see this picture here, you hear the journey, the Paute. This is the boat that Ra travels in. But these are all aspects of your character. Y'all all in the same boat, so to speak. Get the concept, the boat, you're all in the boat. Everybody got a role to play. Everybody do what they're supposed to do. And that's how the body operates. That's how it functions. Everybody, the kidneys do what it's supposed to do, lungs, everything works in harmony with each other, even though they're opposites or don't be the same thing. That's what Mayat represents. Duality. Two things working together, opposites. All right, let's get into the tree of life. We climbing. We just getting started, but we climbing. All right, the tree of life is a roadmap of the journey which explains how creation came into being and how it will end. God is dreaming right now, and India say the same thing about Krishna. He sleep and he open up the world to destruct and go back to sleep and come back again. So the same concept with God. Everything's come out of him. When he get tired, he wakes up, he's going to draw everything back to him, go back to one, and then start all over again. Conceptually, we don't know. We can conceptualize and theorize. I'm a conceptualist. I can think and conceptualize a whole bunch of stuff. I can imagine and do a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm using my brain. I'm thinking, and when they put into right perspective, I'm thinking right. You should too. Let's go. About me, you should think about you. Priority 1, self-preservation. All right, let's go. But now, explain how creation came into being and how it will end. It also explains what creation is composed of and also what human beings are and what they are composed of. We knew this ancient times. Not the modern technology, but we got all that now, but we had all this understanding way long ago. Watch this. It also explains what we call the process of creation, how creation developed, as well as who created creation and where that entity may be found. These are all things that we try to explain to you that you need to know for yourself. And it also explains how human beings may discover that entity and in also doing, also what? Discover the secrets of creation That means knowing the meaning, understand the meaning of life. A lot of us, I'm just here, I was just born, my mother and father got together, I'm just here going for a ride. Ignorance. Moving on, all right? But understand the meaning of life and to break free, how to break free from what? From your pathetic, ignorant condition of human limitations and mortality in order to now discover your higher realm. There we go. How? By being discovered, discover your higher realms of being. By discovering what the principles, the levels of existence that are beyond your simple physical and material aspects of life. You got to become conscious of other things other than just what you see, feel, taste, and touch. Spirit is invisible. God is invisible, hidden where? In you. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. Now we're going to what we call the movement of creation. That means, and the concept of the power we take, the God and goddesses, things that compose nature. I'm going to take you through, walk you through. Again, remember, I'm going to just keep beating you over the head with these principles. Why? You need to learn them. You need to make them part of your life, and you'll see why. Now, the movement of creation, the concept of the power we take. Every human being is on what we call, again, the psycho-spiritual journey. Consciousness, spirit, and life. The perfect combination, spirit, matter, and the matter got to take the journey to go back to be the spirit. The matter got to take the journey through life, the physical journey, to go back to what? Make itself matter, spirit again in the end. So there are various ways trying to discover what we call happiness, peace, and fulfillment while here in the physical form. We think it's money, pleasures for no. No, not so. Why? Because this is temporary. This ain't, don't love this. If you love this, you're going to reincarnate. Because you're not going to grow, you're not going to get better, and you like what's going on here. So you be around a few times till you get tired of it. Okay? The idea is to wake up consciously and get knowledge of self so when the physical body dies, the spirit can go back home. Most people search in the world for those coveted goals, which is what? Material stuff. Okay? However, but invariably, they can only find what we call limited fulfillment at best. What that mean? When you get what you want, it's happy for the moment. That don't last. That's temporary happiness. That's temporary fulfillment of a situation. That's not complete happiness or bliss or peace. Watch this. And you get limited fulfillment at best. And in the end, all of person's achievements, your titles, your level of act don't mean nothing. Why? No matter how grand you did, how much you accumulated, they are all what? Relinquished by them at the what? Time of death. You can't take none of this with you, but you can take this if it's enlightened. That's the difference. And, nobody knows about, I don't give a crap what you know, what you don't know. It's the philosophy that I practice. If it's wrong, so be it. When I sold drugs, when I got caught, I paid the price. If I'm living the philosophy that I believe in, and if it's wrong, I'll pay the price. Simple. Hell yeah, I'll pay the price. So what's the difference? I knew at least I'm prepared for mine. Y'all not. I want to die. Should live right. Move on. Know yourself, and death don't scare you. Mystical, that's what this is, philosophy, is here to show the people who practice it are really searching for what? A deeper happiness, something more sustainable. And that if they were to what? Just understand how to pursue their worldly desires. It's okay to want things, it's okay, but don't make that the end all be all, and don't sell your soul to get it. Your worldly desires and your actions and experiences would be directed toward what? Your inner spiritual discovery. Knowing yourself. I spend a lot of time doing that. A lot of people doing other stuff. Okay, that's fine. But mine will pay off in the end. Well, yours. His didn't. If you kept going, here's what neither. Mine will. I made the change. You can too. That's all. It's your choice. I chose to do that. He chose to do what he did. Simple. I ain't gonna problem with that. Okay. But the fruits of this inner journey, the afterlife comes in, is the discovery that now one has infinite peace. You become one with that God. And what we call bliss, that's deep within, and that's the discovery of that is the true goal of life. Knowing thyself, finding bliss, reaching peace, hotep. No, I want this, I want that. You can want and you can aspire, all that, it's fine. But guess what? It's gonna stay here. I don't want to accumulate a bunch of money to what? I ain't got a dime, but I represent wealth. So if I can leave a legacy of something worthwhile, worth doing, that's better than damn money. What I'm giving you is better than money. Some people think so, some people don't. I get it, I understand. I like money too. But not enough to do what I used to do to get it. No, I'm not doing that. Moving on. I put 25 years in working, so I got retirement money, I got Social Security money, so I'm living. I'm not out here trying to make a hustle. I gotta get this money. I don't live like that. Moving on, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad I can be myself. All right, as my man Ray Higgins would tell you. Now I'm over here. Let's talk about the divine self. Who's that? This guy. Where's he at? In you. So, come, I get excited. Yeah, this is I got goosebumps, all right? So let's go. The divine self is not only in creation, which is there, but where? In the heart. In the heart, I keep telling you, in the heart of every human being as well. So therefore, the very essence of what everything is, that's just contains in the stratum of every human being is what, in reality, God as well. He don't just run, he run you. If you allow him to, you get yoga. Yoga, the Y-O-G-A, your own God advisor. God is in your heart and in your mind. If you become conscious of him, and you'll be good to go. Hope you get this understanding. I just put that in there. I just came up with that idea. Well, I like that. All right, the concept. What's this? But the word, okay, I'm right on point. God is in every human being as well. We just don't know that. In the task of every human being of practicing what? Spiritual practice we call semi-tawi. Coming together, what? Upper and lower Egypt, conceptually. That's you in your physical body. Lower nature, ego. Higher nature, Heru. That's what you have to become conscious of. Watch this. And we call it Egyptian yoga. Your own God advisor. When you get knowledge of self, you have your own God to guide you. Sorry. And to discover this essential nature where? Within one's own heart and mind. Heart-mind coherence. Heart-mind coherence. Get used to this. This can occur in anyone, in everyone, if what? One reflects upon the teachings, practice them, and realizes its meanings for themselves. And now they're able to discover its reality, which is what? Which is the deepest recesses of one's own experience. You live your life on your terms. If you live it willy-nilly, that ain't your terms. You just a victim of circumstance half the time. And when this occurs, you, the person who has attained that level of what? Self-discovery. Knowledge of self. No, nihas. When you reach that level, it's referred to as what? Having become enlightened. Now when feet go again, you have discovered your true divine nature. Yourself, God, thyself. They have discovered your own, you have discovered your own oneness. Your own. Why? You become one in your own conscious mind. That's where he dwells. And what this? You discover your oneness with who? The divine self. Human self is who we think we are, the ego. Raise that conscious level. Oh, I'm God. Divine. Yeah, hello. Now, I got some here stuff. This is all I call fluff. I'm going to do fluff. But this to tell you about how the symbol of Heru means the one above is in the falcon or the hawk glyph. He represents up there, him up there. That's what Heru means. And that's what you want to be. Up there in what? In spirit and knowledge and understanding. And these are the phases of Heru right here. A quick glyph. I like to read around it. And when Asar, when he was living, this is him. After death, he sits on the throne as the king afterlife. In the afterlife, okay, look, he got the hawk here, got the falcon here. See here? That's because it represents him up there. You see me pointing up? That's why. Everything that's above. As above, so below. Hermes Trismegistus told you that. Okay, now here's another concept of Heru, the spirit. Okay, this is you at birth. Kid, Heru Picard. This is now Heru, grown man, you in your own form. And at the end, when you become master of yourself, look at your regalia. This is what you get as you go through. And what he's doing, sitting on the throne. He's the king. He got all his stuff together. That's how you go see your father. Okay, dressed in all your regalia. Let him know, yeah, I got mine. Okay, moving on. I want to get that out the way because now I'm going to take you to what we call the diagram in the order of evolution from subtle to gross. Okay, 6 generations, starting with Ra. I've been breaking this down for the longest. I'm going to do it again. You got Ra, you got Shu, Tef, Nut, Geb, Nut. Then you get us, the human level. This is all the upper level. See the difference? Now down here is the human generations. Asar, Aset, Set, Neptet, and Haru. Okay, that's the 6th generation. I'm gonna walk through it right quick for you. Break it down. Hope you understand it. This is the stuff I like about teaching. All right. Now you start at the top. That sign, right? Infinity sign. That's right. He's infinite. He's forever. That's reciprocity. He gives his own life and breathes his own life within himself. That's what he brings. What breath into man? The spirit from the breath, air, shoot. It's consciousness and anything else that goes with it. Why? If you go without breathing, inhaling and exhaling for 4 minutes, you lose consciousness. That means air is conscious. That's the quick lesson to learn from my man KRS. He's a smart guy. Now let's break down the 6 generations and bring forth the main divinities of the Anuian theurgy from the infinite sign right there, which is Ra. Number 1, it goes all the way down to the 1st generation. Ra is singular. He ain't had no help. He didn't have no mate. Just him. One. So always remember the one, the I. Look familiar? The same thing. Represent one and it represents I. Identification with oneself. That's what Ra represents. Now, 2, we need to what? Inhale. What's that? Shoot. Air. Okay. Number 3, he combined dry air that we can breathe with moist air that waters the dew, the morning dew, that waters nature, okay, that comes from Tef Nut, okay? Those 2 go together. They get together, they form what? Earth. That's Geb. Male, not female. Why? Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. In sexual intercourse, fellas, the woman is on top. That's heaven. Nature tells you that. I'm not saying it. I want no. Don't care what your favorite position. Don't care. No. Nature says woman's on top because she do all the moving. Men, y'all lady, we just lay there. Think about it. And everything I try to teach is real. Why? Because if it makes sense, you ain't gotta like it, subscribe to it. But okay, it makes sense. Okay, it gotta be what it gotta be, but it makes sense. That's what I'm saying. And everything I study and learn, I only do what's practical. I don't give a damn about anything other than do it work, do it make sense. Is it real? That's it. Moving on. And this philosophy does all that. It answers all my questions, personally. So you got other ones? Put them out there. But Shu represents air that we breathe, Tef Nut, the water from above. Geb is the fermentation that we walk on. Earth is male. Dun, 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 dun. The obelisk, that represents Geb's penis. Again, still makes sense. Okay, the story plays out perfect. Nut, heaven. My Dr. Ben, my teacher, first teacher, he said heaven is between a black woman's legs. We come from there, and a lot of us, spend most of our life, trying to get back there. Think about it. I love that guy. He was smart. And now the 1st generation was Shu and Tef Nut. 2nd generation was Nut and Geb. 3rd generation comes Asar and Aset. They had offspring. Asar and Aset gave birth to Haru. That's the spirit that's in me and you, the concept. We are aspirants, and our parents are intuitive knowledge and spirit. That makes us aspirants. We aspire, and our potential is unlimited. See where it's going? In every religious concept, I hear them all, I listen to them all, but I got the origins of it. Y'all don't know this. I know what y'all know, but y'all don't know this. I'm just trying to bring it to your attention and see you where you can connect the dots now. Oh, I get it. I ain't anti nothing. I just got the truth. Now what you got, if it ain't matching this, you got the wrong thing. Simple. Moving on. Again, I tell you, if the God that you serving ain't blessing you, you serving the wrong God. That ain't hard to understand. I get blessed daily. My pastor, who's a Christian, get blessed daily. My brother-in-law, who's a Muslim, blessed daily. My best friend, Jew, get blessed daily. Why? We live right. And that one I'm right thinking. I ain't a Christian, Muslim, or Jew. Well, we all get the same blessings, so spare me. I keep trying to tell you, it makes sense. I ain't trying to do nothing but give you what you need to know for yourself. I ain't a con man. I ain't slick. I ain't got time for none of that. I'm a truth teller. I'm an educator. Moving on. Now, after I sat and I saw, that's where man starts. That's us. And you got your ego self. That's Seth. Jealous of his brother. The first story of jealousy. Yeah. Ego is jealous of anything and everybody. Half the time, sometimes it owns self. So you don't pay him no mind. But he's a good worker. Okay? So, your feelings are good servants. Bad leaders. Your ego will go to war for you. That's the one who fights off the prophet. So it's all conceptual. It makes a lot of sense once you understand the stories. Bunch of good stories, but idea the story has a message. Damn the story, did you get the message? Let's moving on. So Set represents the ego. Netet, which is the opposite twin sister of Aset, and she also represents immortality. Okay, wisdom and immortality. Netet, which is a twin sister, the opposite, she represents mortality. She represents nature. What born will die. She's the queen of death. Why? Because she's there at death. Why? Everything that born will die. It got to come through her. Simple as that. That's the concept. Death is part of what she represents. Just like immortality is what Aset represents. Then you got Haru That's me and you, what? Self-mastery. Means great. I've been practicing for greatness for the last 20-something years. I'm still practicing. Okay, you ain't reached it yet. Oh, no. I'm taking my time. I ain't in a hurry. Okay, I ain't on the timetable. I'm just trying to get great. Now, how long that take? Okay, all right. Going on, moving on. But you got 6 generations that brought forth the main deity. Just put them down for you. You had Asar brought forth, Ra brought forth Shu, Tefnut. Tefnut brought forth Geb and Nut. Geb and Nut brought forth Asar and Set that thing. And again, Haru is you with self-mastery. And then we got my dude, my favorite. One of my personal favorites is Anubis, Anpu, right? He's the mortality, which that's that. She represents mortality. And Asar, she for death, nature fell in love with the spirit. Okay, they got together. Their offspring is discernment. That's Anubis. That's my old school that I used, didn't even know it, but I used my discernment a long time ago. What? Decide cop or a customer. Simple. Moving on. And Asar and Set gave rise to Haru Picard. That's Haru as a child. You see him with the headgear on, with the little baby. Okay, then he growing up. That's us without what? No knowledge of self. Got to be taught. Who I said taught him. Okay, why his father dead. Maces. We the widow's son. Okay, who's our father? That's all. Moving on. They don't tell you that until way late. But I can tell you the progress of going through that nonsense, give it to you, and work with it from there. Now let's talk about each one of the God. No, that's another lesson. But I'm gonna stop right here. I see right now. Nope, I'm gonna do the lesson. I'm gonna get as far as I could. How about that? We got Shu and Tefnut, Geb and Nut, Asar, Aset, Set and Nephthep. And if I got time, I'm gonna take you over to Haru and Anubis. But that's the lesson. Yeah, I got a little ways to go, so I can break it down. But I'm gonna get this shit. I'm getting in there, excuse me. Let me get the first one in. You got Shu and Tefnut. That's the first family from Ra. Ra gave rise to Shu and Tefnut. But it ain't them as people. They're principles, they're concepts, elements, air that we breathe, water that comes down from the heaven. They come together, they make earth. Earth, what we walk on, heaven is what we aspire to get to after life. So these are the great parents. Earth, Mother Nature, heaven. We are the offspring. We the spirit made flesh. Okay, spirit and matter, that's us. Physical form, I keep going over and over again. Let me break this down right quick. So Ra gave rise to Shu and Tefnut. Shu is the principle of air, space, ether, whatever you want to call it. But space is the first aspect. Air is the first element of the divine that is necessary in order for what? His creation to even be possible. Again, he knew that. We keep saying God all-knowing God, but we don't give him the credit that he really do. Why? Think about this. Everything that he do is just right. Perfect. Everything man do is messed up. We can't copy him. Lord, no, we can't do that. We can't plagiarize him. The best thing we can do is live, do, and be, and worship him. That we can do. All the other stuff like him, not too much. Okay, understand. Again, the physical form is limited. God ain't physical. He's unlimited. He's all conscious. I just did the lesson about imagination and memory. All the same thing. What is in your head? Package deal. God does that. Again, he's a bad man. Space is the first aspect that divine knew was necessary in order for his creation to be possible to live. Now, in the Eastern mystical teachings, this principle is referred to as ether. Again, prana, chi, all that. You can call it what you want. Everybody has a word for it, and they all ain't got the match, but they all mean the same thing. Whatever word you use for God, whatever name you give God, it's still the same God. That's my point. So the next principle, creation, starting from creation, is Tefnut. And you know she got the lioness head, female, okay? That at that time, we was in the age of Leo. Everything was lioness, okay? Leo, the lion. Get it? They lived off of nature. They did the zodiac a few times. We done been through this already a couple of times. Moving on, but understand. But in the Eastern, they have a concept we call air, they call it ether. Same thing. Next principle, creation Tefnut. She, again, symbolizes the subtle, potential, dynamic energy, aka life force, within all creation. We call it Sekhem. Okay? She is that which allows creation to have movement. She represents as the lioness, and she relates to the ancient Egyptian goddess known as Sekhmet. Sekhmet is the goddess who presides over Sekhem, the power, serpent power, life force of all things. Gave that lesson too. I got the book about that. But they broke all these down in principles and concepts that we gave them life. We gave them identity so that we can study them. We can mimic them. That's the idea. Now let's talk about Geb and Nut right quick. Geb is the earth. Geb is the man laying back with that big thing sticking up in the air. Of course, him and Nut was in love embrace. The only thing between Geb and Nut now is what? Shoot, air. Okay, and these are all principles. But we gave them identity so we can understand them. Hopefully you get the concept. Next, you got Shu and Tefnut. They gave rise to Geb and Nut. Geb and Nut are the earth and heavens, respectively. Earth, male, heaven, female. You get it? So the woman's always on top. Eastern give you a different perspective. Shakti, everybody got the female and they always on top. Man, it's just Nut on top. Okay, she covers man. All right. So, from the subtle essence of creation, Ra, which is the essence, spirit, and consciousness come together. The subtle principles, space and life force energy, watch this, emerged. And now, from space and life force energy came what? Even more dense principle coming down from spirit, coming down into matter, arises. These constitute the physical world. You got stars, planets, outer space, the heaven, the galaxy, okay, the universe, etc. God put that in place also. Then from Ra, which is the basic principle of all things, everything comes from him, creation, and emanated, and this sets the stage for what? For now, what? Existence to happen of what? Human beings. Feel me? And the life force forms of creation. If you notice that all of these principles, Shu, Tefnut, Geb, and Nut, are what? Are all pairs of opposites. It's Mayat. I need this and this. Good, bad, light, dark, to make a whole. That's what Mayat represents. That's why she was the first thing. She represents order. Without that, you got chaos. Okay, we don't want that. We got that in the White House. Now that don't work. Moving on. But the idea is to have order. The sun will rise. That's order. His job is to do just that. That's what Mayat represents. Okay, they say the world is run by Mayat. I agree. All right, but now when we got the world, okay, resistant man, okay, humans and beings, and this life force creation, notice that all of them, Tefnut, Shu, Tefnut, Geb, and Nut are all pairs of opposite. Now, which have given male and female iconographs. Again, Shu was a male, but Tefnut wasn't a female. She's a female lioness. Okay, but this points to the teachings that existence is a mingling of opposite principles which emanate from the one singular essence, God. However, in and of themselves, they are not what constitute life from the human point of view, because they do not contain what? The dynamic consciousness of the self. That's what man is given to distinguish him from everything else. Let's go. Even y'all so-called angels, stop with that nonsense, please. But the self or the spirit, which is Ra, come together, that's us. in the proper manner for you to allow what? Right reasoning, feeling, etc. They're going to have aspects. They come into the picture in 1 minute. I got them cut you too. That's Hekaru, Tahuti, and Mayat. That's the whole separate entity, but they all what? Principles and concepts of creation. And manifest what? Reasoning, feeling, memory, action, love, and other capacities are what constitutes the human existence. Like the feet. And in order for these to manifest in the proper with the proper combination of what? Spirit and matter. Hello, must be present. The body without spirit, no life, no, don't mean nothing. Okay, it don't matter to nothing. You put it in the ground, you go back to nature. Where do you come from? What? The elements that constitute the body go right back into the elements of the ground. Okay, nature. But you have the first 5 divinities or the deities. They represent the melding of God and creation, which allows human life to exist and to be sustained. Again, sun, daylight, nurture the earth. Air, for us to breathe. Water, nurture the earth. Geb, which is the earth. And Nut, which is heaven. Those are the 5 concepts, 5 steps of nature that come together to make what? The creation as a whole before us. Now let's start with the 6. My favorite number. I'm going to start right there. See, it's a half hour in. I can stop right there. I'll be right back. Ooh, this is getting good. Hope you enjoyed it. But I'm going to cut it short right now, right, thinkers? May all you live to be 100, me 100 minus a day. So I've never let my right thinkers who on a psycho-spiritual journey have passed away. Remember, we're working on not dying. Knowledge of self will prevent death to what? To the spirit, to the conscious, yourself. I'll be right back.